Hi and welcome to our August 2023 video update. I'm Steve Johnson, Chief Investment Officer here at Forager Funds, and August was a month of reporting season for both our international and Australian funds. Up until the last day of the month it was relatively quiet given it was reporting season for our Australian fund. We had a couple of stocks that disappointed, including Paragon, Care and Big Tin Can, and a few stocks that did a bit better than expected on the other side of the ledger. They included Motorcycle Holdings and Tourism Holdings. And then on the 31st of August, we received a big takeover bid for a healthcare stock in the portfolio called Healthier. The price is a huge 80-something% premium to where it was trading prior to the takeover offer, but the share price had fallen a lot over the past 6 months. It's something like a 20% premium to our average cost, and we had been averaging down there more recently. It's private equity bidding for this, Pacific Equity Partners, and the deal is fairly locked up with major shareholders and the board being supportive of it. And we think the price is fair. We had fairly high hopes for this company and we still think private equity will do very well out of it. But in a market where there's a lot of small cap opportunity out there, assuming this deal goes through, we'll take the money and move on to something else. All of that led to a result that was more than 2% better than the index for the month of August and continues to build on the performance recovery in this fund. Over on the international fund, both the index and the fund were slightly positive for August, with the fund just a touch less than the index at 0.9%. That was despite what was a pretty weak month for equity markets. The Aussie dollar fell a long way, and that covered up what had been going on at the underlying stock level. In our portfolio as well, we had the takeover offer for Blanco Technologies. That boosted returns by about 1% for the month. You can read about that takeover offer in our July monthly report. There wasn't a lot to come out there during August, but it's about to heat up as that bid comes to an end in the first couple of weeks of October. We'll get to see whether we can hang on to what we think is a still very cheap share there or not. The rest of the portfolio then was down about 4.5% for the month. That's actually some welcome pessimism creeping back into markets after 7 straight months of gains in 2023. We'd be welcoming of some cheaper share prices out there, and we've been juggling around the portfolio around a bit, taking some money off the table on things that have done very well for us. Speaking of which, one stock that's been doing well is the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We've owned this Canadian listed stock for a couple of years now and done quite well out of some uranium price appreciation. That appreciation really gathered steam throughout the month of August, and we think it's got a fair way to go. There's a pretty rational case for more uranium in the mix and more nuclear power in Western countries, but it doesn't really matter when it comes to this particular commodity. India and China are adding a lot of new reactors, and there hasn't been a new mine built in the past 15 years. We think there needs to be more uranium production, and that the price needed to encourage that production needs to be substantially higher than it is today. So it's been ticking away for us in the background. It's about 2.5% of the fund, and one that I think is a really interesting thesis for you to read in the August monthly report. We'll have a lot more to say about that and more in our quarterly report come September. Until then, thanks for tuning in.